Okay. So it says to pretend your discussion partner is a student in your class and you are going to lead your great partner through the first day review of the rules in your class and what your expectations are. And then teach a personal skills coping with anger, making a complaint, or accepting feedback.
Okay.
So I don't, it's kind of odd for me to be like pretending to talk to,
Yes.
it's gonna be a little off, but
Do you want
um
how do you want to do it? Because I was thinking, like, I listed on a piece of, like, on my Word document, just some of the rules. I mean, I really did, I wrote basically a few of my expectations, a few of my rules, and then some consequences.
yeah, I did like a little mini lesson plan of what I would do. So do you just want to
Okay.
like read through them to each other?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Okay. Did you do like a lesson plan and like the rules, or did you mostly focus on your lesson plan? Just so I know that I don't sound like
I just did mostly a lesson plan, but then I did for like how would you cope with anger and stuff like that. I did like the zone of regulations
okay.
stuff, but it was mostly just like a mini lesson plan to kind of help me visualize what I would do on the first day. But I didn't create any rules or anything. So
Do you want to, Marissa? Do you want me to share the rules I came up with, my expectations, and then you can share your lesson plan that will kind of like encompass everything?
yeah, that would be great.
Okay. Do you want to
All
go
right.
first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just pull it up real quick. Hold.
Okay.
Okay. So some of the expectations I said that I want students to respect me, their peers, and themselves. It's also important to me that they are kind to their peers. They must follow directions when given. I would also ask them to pay attention and to participate. And those were the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that was a good level of expectation that could be had for any child in elementary school, regardless of capability or ability. Just might
Yeah.
need help through those
Mm-hmm.
particular ones. Some of the rules I had were they must have their electronic devices turned off before entering the classroom. Work must be done and turned in on time, and they will arrive on time and ready to work. Consequences will include a verbal warning, a call home, and detention, obviously depending on the capability and levels of the students.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. What do you think are some good consequences for a child in the special education program?
For us, well, what we have done is some like our children were earn stars. So when they've done good at something, they have a star chart, they earn it. And then if they just aren't completing their work or they haven't worked as hard enough as we know that they can, they just won't receive a star.
Okay.
Or if they don't have enough star, like by whoever, whatever child it is, it's a little bit different. So one of them is if they have 10 stars or whatever it is that we're doing, if they have 10 stars throughout the whole day, then they can have 5 minutes of iPad at the very end of the day
Oh, I
towards
like that.
dismissal. So it
So
just
through
really
punishment, it's like
depends.
more rewarding, right?
Yeah, so it's not really necessarily punishment, but yeah, if we're doing a writing task, like one of my students hates writing and it becomes a whole problem, and then we end up having a behavior for 30 minutes and we've wasted 30 minutes of writing time. Now it's time for recess. Okay, well, we're not going to recess because you don't get to do something fun if we haven't gotten this done. So we'll shorten down a little bit what he needed to have accomplished. So instead of doing 5 things, maybe we do 3 things instead. Then we can go to recess and then we're just going to be done with the activity.
Which will lead to like fewer meltdowns and issues along the way, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we try to avoid that ahead of time, but that's not always gonna work.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not really consequences unless, you've wasted all of your writing time. So that's a natural consequence. So no, we don't get to go to recess. So it's more natural consequences than punishment. If you didn't earn your 10 stars today, we'll try again tomorrow and you can try again for iPad or whatever it is that you're working for.
And do you think it's good to base the punishment or consequences based on the like level of functioning for the child?
Yeah, it's different for all of our kids because some of them we know what they are capable of and we push them. They may not realize that, but we push them to realize that they are capable of doing this. So a lot of the times I'm like, I know you can write me a paragraph. You are in third grade. I know you can write me 5 sentences. But if we can't do that, then we can just sit here, and if you miss recess, then you're gonna miss recess. So, but we do, it depends on our child's learning. So, yeah. Did you have anything else for yours?
No, the thing that I had written down for like something that I would teach was just working with students in a classroom on how to deal with their meltdowns, just for them to ask for a break, ask for help. I think in my classroom, I want students to be able to leave the classroom if necessary with an aid. You know, maybe just walk around the playground for 2 minutes and get that break before it escalates into such a large meltdown in the classroom. And then I also want to have like a calm space where they can request to go to if it's just becoming too overwhelming in the classroom.
Yeah, a lot of teachers actually have those calm down areas now. I wish that we had that like way back in the day. I'm starting to see like all this stuff that we've never had before. That would have been so useful like back in the day. So,
and you know, what's interesting too is just seeing my son in the classroom, and I would always think that, you know, it's not about the children having behaviors around them, it's about that particular student having the behavior, but that one child having a huge meltdown distracts
it does, yeah.
all of the students and causes all the other students to start to have behaviors as well, though. So it leads to like this domino effect, which is
exactly
not good.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot of times, but yeah, I'll share the zone of regulations that I've done with some of my students that I like for mine. But are you good if I go ahead and share mine?
Yeah.
Okay, so for mine, my kind of like little mini lesson plan would just be like a brainstorm of the students will brainstorm why do we have rules, and they can share and discuss why they think we have rules with their table or their partner, whoever. And I did find a book that I used to actually read when I was younger, Officer Buckle and Gloria by Peggy Rothman, about a police officer that goes to elementary schools who teaches about safety, but none of the kids really listen to it, and it's boring. They all fall asleep. But then one day he gets a police dog, and she's doing tricks and all this fun stuff, and all the kids love her and love listening to the police officer that comes in. And he kind of starts realizing that all the kids are excited because of the dog Gloria and not him. So they basically he decides not to go to any more of the teachings of safety and just send Gloria. And then of course it's boring because it's just a dog sitting there. So then they kind of just, go over like, who you need to set rules with, and like who you can have there with you to help you, and that learning rules can be fun. And so they kind of come back, like all these accidents happen and all these kids are like, we missed you, Officer Buckle, like, all this kind of stuff. So I thought that would be a good book to read about rules and like why they're important and why it's important to listen. And I would ask questions throughout the book. And then an island activity that a teacher that I work with actually uses, it is you're king or queen of an island and there are other people with you. So what rules would you make up and why? How would you make others follow the rules? And how would you make these rules? So then they can have a little bit of creativity of like how their island would be, what kind of rules they would have on their islands, and give me reasons why they would have those rules. So then that kind of gives me the assessment of, what have they learned about rules, and like what is a good rule and what's maybe a silly rule. So that's kind of what I thought I would do. And then the zone of regulations, I'm not sure if you've ever seen this. I pulled it up on my phone. So it's just blue, green, yellow, and red. Have you seen these? Have you seen them before?
I think my son's teacher had like a similar thing. It was like on like a flashcard with like a metal ring where you could flip through it.
Yes, we do that.
Yeah, I really, really liked it. I didn't know what it was called though, but I really I really like it.
Yeah, we do that a lot with our kids. And we noticed that one of our kids was really struggling and had a hard time explaining how he felt. And I would be like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, why do you feel this way? Or what made you feel this way? And he's like, I don't know. And he just can't get it out. So we decided to print it out, put it on a little ring. And then that way he can show me what color he's at. If he's in the red zone, he's angry, mad, out of control. Yellow zone, frustrated or worried, or silly, which a lot of the times he is. He's very silly, very wiggly. Green zone, I'm happy, I'm content, I'm feeling okay. Blue zone, sad, sick, tired, or bored. So a lot of the times he'll just leave it on his desk. And then when I come in to check on him, I can kind of see where he's at. And if he's in the green zone, I'll just kind of wave at him, walk around the room, help some other students before I kind of come to him, because I don't want to distract him. But obviously, if he's in any other zone, I come over, we talk about it. I ask him, why are we in this zone? Or, I'll read the words to it. I'll read the words to him, and he'll kind of point out what he's feeling. So that way it makes it easier for him to kind of tell me a little bit more about why he's feeling that way.
So what age range do you think that's like the most effective for?
I use it a lot with kindergarten and first grade, maybe second grade. You could probably get away with it. But I mean, with my fifth graders, even I'm like, hey, I can tell that we're in the red zone. We need to go take a break and come back into the green zone. So whether like my third grader likes to go for walks, my fifth grader really likes to read dinosaur books. So I'm just like, hey, we're in the red zone. Let's go back to our room and let's sit down and you can look at a couple of dinosaur books. And we also have a swing in our room also.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so he can do a swing break or a scooter break, whatever he needs, any fidgets, whatever. Set a timer for about 5 minutes and then go back to class, depending on how he's feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what, I mean, it could work for anyone, but it really works with the younger ones mostly. They tend to like that more.
If you start with them younger, then you can use it throughout, as they get a little bit older.
Yes. Yeah, so that's been very helpful. I really didn't even know about the zone of regulations until I started working as a para. So that was like really helpful for me.
I really like that idea. That's something I think I want to actually use that.
Yeah, it's great. And they have tons of different posters and stuff like that and lesson plans that I've seen online and on Teachers Pay Teachers to just kind of do some other stuff with it. So I really like it a lot.
It's a wonderful idea. I really like it.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all we need.
Yeah, and so Marissa, I'll have you send me the link for this.
Yes.
And I don't think we have to send in our lesson plans or anything like that. So I think we should be good with our video.
Yep, I think we are good. So I will get that posted on YouTube and then get that link sent over to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.